Supergirl made it rain. Get it? And Barry maybe should have stuck with that season 1 motto of run, Barry, run. So we're going to talk about the mid-season finales of The Flash and Supergirl right now on Super Chat. What up, what up, what up? It's Super Chat time. I'm your host, Jess. Welcome back to the show. This is a weekly recap show of all the CW superhero shows. And this week we are joined by 2 guests. We have Wes Pacehour of Chad and Wes Make a Podcast. Hello, welcome back. And then we have Alex Reed. She's new.
Yes, hi.
She does a blog, alexwrites.blog. It's called tell me again.
Speak Now
Storytellers.
Yes.
And we're going to learn all about this. But I found her on Twitter because she tweets all the shows. This is amazing. Like, she needs to just work here and help me tweet. But yeah, so we're going to learn all about your blog and what you've been doing, and we're going to dive right into these mid-season finales.
Yes.
So have you guys felt like this has gone really quickly?
Yeah, it does.
Like, where did the fall go?
It feels really fast.
Winter has always been coming, I guess. I guess Game of Thrones was right.
Forever.
Yes, but like I feel like it flew by, and last week's crossovers were so close to the. I mean, it's just been so much action, and we still haven't seen Arrow. Mm-hmm. Arrow's happening tomorrow night. I really kind of still wish it was on Wednesdays.
Me too.
But I do like maybe that they spread it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to watch like one a day and not have to,
let us breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we take Wednesday. Wednesday's Riverdale night. You gotta watch Riverdale and then watch our podcast tomorrow. But yeah, so it's been an action-packed couple weeks on the CW, and we're getting into the holidays. And my favorite part of all the CW shows this week was a very special moment on Legends of Tomorrow. So take a look at this clip.
Bebo, hungry.
And our God hungers for battle!
That's so stupid.
Bebo Day.
Bebo Day is the best. It's like a Furby.
I love the fact that like the entire episode they're taking it so seriously, and like nobody really says anything, and then there's one shot of Heatwave, and they carry Bebo by, and he's just like, this is the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, yes, you know what's up.
Then he fire blasts.
And all he's saying is, Bebo, love you. Bebo, thirsty.
Bebo hungry. My mom got our family a Furby one Christmas, and we hated it. We made it, it will die in the bathroom. Like, we would show, you know how you can make it be quiet in the dark?
Yes.
We're like, Mom, why'd you get this? Sorry, Mom. We sure love. Mom got the Furby for herself, I can tell, because not one of us asked for this Furby. So now maybe it can become a Viking god.
Maybe.
It reminded me, do you guys watch Vikings at all?
I don't know.
No, it's a good show. It's dark.
It's on my list.
Yeah, and like I was not caught up. I had watched a few seasons and I came back and like the main characters are all different. I was like, I missed a couple seasons there. But this was a great nod to it with Bebo and the Legends. And the Legends have had some big changes.
Yeah.
And we had to say R.I.P. at Martin Stein, but it was nice that his young character was back.
Right.
Yeah.
It was good to see young Martin.
Was that a good exit for Victor Garber, you think?
I actually was surprised they killed him. I knew that he was leaving because they were building up to the splitting Firestorm and everything. Yeah. But I just really thought they were just going to let him go home with his wife and his daughter and grandson.
Then he could come back every now and then.
Right. And I was really sad that he died. I mean, I cried a little bit, but I laughed too because Jax couldn't cry, and it just kind of awkward.
Not cry at all. He was crying as much as I'm crying right now.
Exactly. So
you just kept going like this. I was like, dude, no, you have one job. It's
You're not
acting.
crying. You're just frowning a lot.
You're just frowning. Or at least pretend, like, if you're like, I'm not an actor who cannot cry on demand, do a different thing, like be a shocked sad or something.
Right. I wasn't feeling it. So I felt bad after the moment because it wasn't sad in the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, because, Jax, Franz, what's his name? Franz.
Sorry, Franz.
Yeah. Maybe take a little class over the break. Anywho, we got to get into our question of the week, and that is, it's for Supergirl and Flash. Who is the baddest baddie? And it's between the Thinker and Rain. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna go with Thinker.
Okay, why?
At first, I was thinking Rain because it's kind of a cool concept, but when you think about Rainey, you kind of see like how she came about.
Yeah.
Nothing she's really doing is really voluntary, at least from what we've seen at this point. She's kind of being overtaken by this dark force thing, so she's not really responsible, at least not what we've seen so far.
Right.
The Thinker is completely in control of all his actions.
It's like
he's
terrifying.
making some very, very deliberate choices, and so everything that he's doing is just like 100% evil.
He's a
Yeah,
creeper.
I definitely agree. I agree, definitely. Rain is cool, but she's just been Sam most of the time. So it kind of really just hit last episode, and I was like, oh, she reminded me of Batman in her first scene.
Right, yes.
And it kind of was like, oh, this feels like Batman, but then the Thinker, what he did,
The Thinker is, he's a little terrifying. And I agree what you said about it kind of felt like Batman versus Superman, that fight.
Yeah.
But she was cool, but I agree that it's not really her that's the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more so whoever has programmed her. And Jada Diaz, shout out to Jada on Twitter, said the Thinker wins this round by a very narrow margin. He knows what he's doing, whereas Rain's host body does not. So she would agree. So thanks, Jada, for participating. If you want to participate, you can go over to my Twitter at JustWCCB and vote in the poll. You have some more time. I think you have till like noon tomorrow. So I want to hear what you guys think. But yeah, that brings us into The Flash this week, and the whole theme has been don't run.
I know, it's
Why?
crazy.
Why? Why are you doing that? Like, that's the whole point of the show. If you got this power, the end scene where for a synopsis and a spoiler, if you guys have not watched yet, Barry is set up by the Thinker. He is framed for essentially the murder of Clifford DeVoe, where we see that really Clifford DeVoe kind of had a Get Out movie moment where he took this young guy, Dominic's body, who is a meta who he created with the bus meta incident, and now his brain is living in this youthful guy's body, and he has now used this knife to frame Barry in Barry's apartment for killing him. So that's not great, but then Barry finds this situation and he just is like, I guess I'll just not run. Why? Why?
It's very interesting because all the seasons have been run, Barry, get faster,
Yeah.
and you can see it is like him thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, he sees the door
The
banging
lightning,
down,
yeah.
and you see the body, and he just goes, "Okay, I'm about to run," but then he says, "Nope, I won't do it." And I was like, "But why?
But why?
But why?" And I'm like, "Why does anybody really think Barry could do this?" Because he's a CSI guy.
And is there any nobility in him not run? Like, is any redemption in him? Like, he could have easily like put the body somewhere else.
Cleaned up.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought he was going to do at first. It's like, okay, he's going to clean this whole thing up.
Yeah.
And then somehow, and I guess we'll get some more answers about why the police were even there to begin with.
Yeah.
Every reasonable explanation that I could come up with this scenario all involved things they didn't really say on the show around, maybe it's to help protect Iris. That way they get him and don't think that maybe Iris did it because, they both
True.
touched the knife. And
That's true, yeah.
So, but again, it's all reading into this situation a lot that hopefully we'll get some answers on in January.
Hopefully. And of course, Barry's not going to end up in jail forever. But one of the jumbled things he did say back when he came out of the Speed Force and he was saying all this stuff, he said something about, he said, "Your Honor, I'm innocent. I didn't do this. I didn't kill anyone."
Yeah.
So, how long now? They've had the joke about this house is bitchin' for almost every episode. How long do you think it'll take before one of them realizes, wait a second, Barry said something that was in the future and this keeps happening?
I don't know. It's definitely been a reoccurring thing now. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe Cisco will think about it. Maybe Iris, and she's team leader these days.
I know, apparently
maybe
she's team
she'll
leader.
figure it out. But
Yeah. Who knows? But I think that is going to be where they use Barry's skills to help defeat the Thinker, who is now not in this chair anymore. So, that's interesting. We're not going to see the Mobius chair anymore?
Yeah.
Apparently not.
I guess not.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of cool if they did a thing where maybe at different points throughout the season he goes to yet another body.
Yes.
Because it seems weird he's been to this one kind of the first half and then he's going to be another one later. I like the idea of him kind of never knowing who is the Thinker.
And do you think that kind of power he has given himself will cause the same kind of muscle deterioration in every body he takes over?
I mean, the whole reason why he did is because he said his body couldn't keep up with his brain. So I would think maybe Dominic would last a little bit longer.
Maybe a little bit longer.
Because he has the whole telepathy thing going on. So maybe that will help, but who knows for how long.
Do you ever foresee a point wherein the mechanic, the wife, kind of turns to the good side because maybe he goes off the rails with, it seems like this power is kind of, it's taking hold of him and it's calculated now, but kind of who knows where it could lead, especially if the team drives him a little more crazy.
Yeah.
Do you ever foresee perhaps maybe that duo, mechanic and Thinker, splitting up?
I think it would be a cool concept, especially after the conversation that she has with Barry this week, where she's basically like, no matter what, I'm going to side with my husband.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now I want you to push that. I want to see how far you're willing to take that and to see if there is a point where she's like, okay, just kidding, I'm out.
Do you think because now he's in a different body that it may be a little harder for her? Because I know he did say, same brain, same person, but different body.
And she was like,
yeah, and even when Dominic came out the house, she was kind of like,
because like, did she get to pick? Was she like that one? Look at this Dominic.
Do you think it would at some point make her go, he's my husband, but he's not my husband?
Right, yeah, because she didn't. I mean, she obviously you fall in love with people for a multitude of things, but had it been looks a little bit too, they don't look the same.
No.
That was an old white guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's very much Get Out. Have you seen the movie Get Out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is taking a weird turn right now in The Flash. The movie's great. If you have not seen it, go see it. Caitlyn had a lot of issues with, I guess, feeling not as useful, and people were liking Killer Frost a lot more than her. And then you see that even she goes to Jitters, represent my shirt. She goes to Jitters, and they even have now a Killer Frost coffee, which she's like, oh, she got a coffee now. That's good, but at least, but she didn't. Caitlin Snow didn't get a coffee. Do you think that we're going to see that dynamic continue to play out, where Caitlin feels like underappreciated compared to Killer Frost, or do you think it has been solved?
Yeah, I think it'll probably be something that's ongoing, and her struggling with her not apparently knowing like what all's really going on when she's Killer Frost, and so I think that's going to continue to be a struggle.
It's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type
Hulk
thing,
kind of thing.
A Hulk kind of thing, which I love all the Marvel references they do in the shows. By the way,
it is fun. Yeah,
but I think that it obviously does bother her, and I do think it would be. I don't want to say it's too soon to wrap it up now, but I also don't want them to drag it out forever either.
Yeah.
Because there are some times where I feel like, Caitlyn's just there so Killer Frost could show up later. So I kind of want them to make sure they balance it out well.
And I thought it was nice that the writers did include, because I think a lot of people are like, Killer Frost is so cool. But Caitlin Snow was a very, very useful member of the team for seasons.
Right.
And,
always.
she said, we need Caitlin Snow. We need Caitlin Snow. Killer Frost is cool and all, but she's a dime a dozen. There are other kind of Killer Frost type. We've got Vibe. We don't need so many like superhero cooks in the superhero kitchen kind of thing. Dibney, he had some more redeeming moments this week, but I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, he seems like Jim Carrey in every Jim Carrey movie. Like he was Ace Ventura, and then The Mask, and then also the Joker, or the Riddler, whatever he was. What are your thoughts on Dibney?
Yeah, I think he's probably close to running his course. I think he's definitely one of those guys that can kind of come in and be around for a couple episodes and then like, all right, cool, I'm going to go do my own thing now.
So you think we're going to see the end of him this season?
Yeah, I can't see him sticking around and being a part of Team Flash, for the foreseeable future. I think maybe he's around for a little bit longer, maybe to the end of the season, and then he's out.
Yeah.
I think we've got a really good kind of core group of people, and nobody's too, overpowered or have. Yeah. But the more you start throwing and creating this little mini Justice League they have going on, like it starts to take some of the indecisiveness out of the episodes around like will they, won't they, like can they beat this guy? Well, it's like, well, if you've got 14 people running around and they all have superpowers, well then it'll be easy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like Ralph. I think he's funny, but I do think that sometimes it's like, okay, you're starting to overstay your welcome a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
And I mean, I enjoy him to be there, but at some point it's like, okay, when do you stop making all these jokes? When do you go sit down? When will Wally come back and you can go?
Yeah. Plus, they let that Dominic in, and like Caitlin let that Dominic in. I mean, does he know? Does Dominic know? Well, okay. Caitlin let Dominic in. Now we know it's the Thinker that is part of the group, but she was just bringing this dude around like the Flash group, and
hey, can I bring
that
my
she
friend?
knows can read minds.
Yeah. And so to me, I'm like, that's risky. I don't know. I thought that was a little like it seems a little too easy to add people to the team this year. They're like, hey, you want to be on? Cool.
Yeah,
I saw you were
love to be
tweeting
Team
about
Flash.
it. So you want to come be in the tell you who the Flash is real quick, and then you're in. The Wells and Cisco dynamic is still fun, though.
Oh yes, I love Wells.
And I love their bickering, but that's where I think the comic relief comes in. I don't know if Dibney's necessary.
Yeah.
But I like the one thing I don't like, but I love the actor, Tom Cavanagh. Can he stop doing the voice? Like, I know that he's being a different character, but yeah, the raspy voice takes me out of it.
Oh yeah, low talk raspy voice.
Yeah, like, I'm mad at Cisco like this. Caitlin, Iris, you need to be team leader. And speaking of Iris being team leader, how do you feel about her development this season as a character?
I think it's good because she's not just the girlfriend or now the wife. You know, she's not just there just because Barry's there. Like she's finding her own place and she's contributing something,
making decisions.
You know, which I think shows like you can have a character that contributes something to the team without having to have superpowers.
Yeah, right. I mean, I love Iris. I've always loved Iris. I mean, I'm always great for diversity and everything, and I think that they have definitely gone a lot from where she's been. I mean, I would like for her to obviously do something else outside of Team Flash. Yeah. Because she's always there, and
where'd her job go?
Yeah, she's a journalist.
Did they pay her?
What's the salary at Starlet?
She's supposed to be West Allen in the future with her newspaper article and everything. So what happened to that?
She's got that side hustle like no other. Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Does she still work at the paper? Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I want to know. What else do you do, Iris?
If you're watching, let us know if she's still working at the paper, because that'd be like if I leave working here at the news station and I'm like, I'm gonna go real quick solve all of the vigilante problems of the city of Charlotte, the 83rd homicide. We're gonna go deal with that real quick. Which, fun fact, actually, the girl who is our Supergirl cosplayer is a CSI.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
I didn't know that.
If you ever come to an event and you see our Supergirl cosplayer, she is a CSI. I think that's the coolest thing. All she has to do is be the Flash, and it's like spot on accurate.
Oh, wow.
So on our Earth, the CSI Supergirl.
Yeah. On Earth, this one. What would we call this Earth? Earth 0.
Yeah, there you go.
Because theirs is 1. Maybe we're on Earth 1 with them. Who knows? So the shows, Flash is not coming back to January 16th, which is kind of a bummer, but it is coming back. And you know what comes back after it, or comes to start after it? Black Lightning.
Oh, super exciting.
I've watched the pilot. It's great. Really? It's so cool. It's different than all the Arrowverse shows. It's not in the Arrowverse. It has a different vibe. It's very cool. I think it's very well done. So check out the trailers on CW's YouTube. I think we have some on WCCBCharlotte.com. Get pumped for that show, because that's going to be like Lightning Night. We have Flash, and then it'll be right after it Black Lightning. So that's where you'll find me, is on the couch. But we have to wait for Barry and friends to return until January 16th. But take a look at the trailer. We're going to be seeing essentially like the trial of the Flash, which from the comic books, it's like their take on the trial of the Flash coming up in 2018. We're going to watch this trailer, then we'll be right back to talk about Supergirl.
My name is Barry Allen, and I'm an innocent man. I'm being framed for something that I didn't do.
He stood among us, a wolf in sheep's clothing.
This is the only way. Tell everyone you're the Flash.
If everyone knew my secret, we would never be able to stop running.
The Flash returns with an all-new episode Tuesday, January 16th on the CW.